Yo, what's up, guys? It's the Teach Me Tuesday, man. We're back with another episode, and today we're gonna dive in. 2025 is in the rear view. We're in the 2026, but we're gonna hit
2026.
on. It's gonna might ruffle some feathers today. Today we're gonna talk about the biggest mistakes that we experienced with buyers
Mm,
that were made in 2025,
mm,
and even in previous years. So
right.
we're gonna dive in, and this is the highlight and pinpoint things that we don't want to mistakes that we don't want to carry over or make in 2026 as we're looking to buy. But we do want to hit on some of the things that prevented borrowers from buying or prevented people who are really interested in becoming homeowners from getting to the finish line.
Right.
So let's talk about it. Let's dive deep. You got Gavin and Wilmot today. Sean, she has an event to go to. So the fellas gonna hold it down like we always do, baby.
You
Like
already know.
baby.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we do here. You know what I'm saying,
That's
Gavin?
what we do. So Wilmot, man,
Mhm.
let's jump right into it, man. I think most home buyers um common and costly mistakes that home buyers made in 2025. Whether it was like from waiting for interest rates to go down, skipping the pre-approval process and misunderstanding like what can they afford.
Mhm.
But we're gonna break down, kind of where they went wrong or what went wrong in their process,
Right.
why it
Right.
mattered, and what borrowers can do differently in 2026. So, Wilmot, when it let's say let's start here. What would you say your number one mistake you saw buyers make in 2025?
Oh man, it's a couple of them, Gavin. But I first one that comes to my head is I see buyers waiting for the perfect time for interest rates.
Ooh,
Okay.
oh
Waiting for
boy.
the perfect time to interest rates. And I want to say that, I see people just say, man, I'm just waiting for interest rates to drop some more, XYZ. I'm waiting for that interest rate to get back down to where it was. And I'm telling you guys, that's a huge mistake. Huge mistake. Because guess what? When those interest rates, if those interest rates, let me say, if those interest rates
Mhm.
drop to where they were, guess what? It's going to be a whole nother ball game. Okay. A whole
Different
nother
market.
ball game, Gavin. It does a whole, it's a chain reaction. Why is that? And here we go again, Gavin, talking about economics. When those interest rates drop, if they drop to those levels that they were before, guess what? It's going to be a ton of buyers come into this market, a ton of
Okay.
buyers that you're going to have to compete with for that property that you probably been watching. And guess what? Prices, what's going to happen to prices?
They gonna go up, baby.
They will go up. So
Mhm.
that's one huge mistake I see some buyers are
So
making when uh-huh.
okay, so yeah, so pretty much while they waited, prices didn't drop. We didn't see prices go down
Mm,
while people were waiting on interest rates to go down.
mm,
Inventory stayed pretty tight. Inventory
right.
was there wasn't a influx of a lot of houses to choose from. It was still, you know, you had to
Pretty
really search
moderate.
and find what you're looking for. Just
Mhm.
wasn't a plethora of the home best suited for you,
Yeah.
at your leisure. And then competition just didn't magically go away. You still had multiple offer situations. You
Right.
had, people out there who wanted the same house you wanted. So when it came on the
Right.
market, if you weren't ready, they were grabbing it up. But if you were waiting on that interest rate, to get that perfect house you saw, you lost out because guess what?
Right.
That perfect interest rate doesn't exist. What exists is what's best for you. So yeah,
Absolutely.
you're right. I agree with you, man. A lot of people made a big mistake waiting on interest rates to go down,
Right.
because again, they trickled a little bit, but not drastically enough to make the change in what people their perception of what the interest rate does for them.
Right. So Gavin, and just so people can understand where we're coming from this, we're not saying, hey, wait for a better interest rate so that you can have a cheaper monthly payment. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is this: it might not go where you think it's gonna go. Okay. It might never happen. All
Right.
right. So you sitting there on the sidelines, not getting in the game because you're waiting for the perfect interest rate. Okay. So another thing I'm noticing out there, Gavin, I know we need to go into the next one, but I'm gonna harp on this point again. Some people are thinking, well, hey, well, I'm gonna just wait and wait and wait. But when you can buy the house now And what you can do later, you can refinance
Right.
later to get a better rate.
Right.
So and I feel like right now the market is very soft for buyers to come in and purchase a home, and the sellers are really negotiable as far as the price points on houses, giving closing costs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna just leave that right there because I just feel like it's an opportunity for you to go ahead and solidify the house you want, and then later you can refinance to the interest rate you want.
Great point. Great point. So let's jump into another mistake we saw that home buyers were,
Mhm.
making. So you got people who get really excited to get, when they have the idea, man, I want to become a homeowner, and they don't know the right process or what to go through.
Mm,
So they just get out there and, man, they start looking online,
mm,
whatever. They may find a realtor, and guess what,
mm,
man? They go out without getting fully pre-approved. They
mm,
they go out looking in the market at homes that they fall in love with, and they don't
mm.
know what their buying power is. They don't know
Right,
what they can afford.
right.
Um, and that's just, man, I hate that mistake for people because um it's it can turn you off from that feeling once you found something that you really like, and then you want to take the steps to find out how you can buy it,
Mm,
and when it
mm,
boils down to it, you may not be able to afford it,
right.
or you may have a misconception of, man, I saw my cousin bought a house in this neighborhood, or
Mm.
this person bought this house, and I know I make more money than them, and they can afford it. So I know I got to be able to afford it. So
Right.
like that's just the mindset of how we
Mm,
think sometimes in our perception. So
right.
that's a mistake I saw people make. Buyers thought they were pre-approved, but they really weren't. They were,
Mm.
getting pre-qualified versus getting pre-approved to find out and true accurate um, depiction of
Oh,
what are you approved for.
wow.
Yeah, you want to add anything to
Listen,
that?
oh man, Gavin, I can sit here. We can be honest. I can sit here and talk about this till it's time to go. But this the thing, guys. Let me say this. It's like first I thought about this example. I don't know if this is a really, really solid example, but hear me out. Okay. It's like going to the store, leaving your wallet at home, knowing what you need to get, but you go put all the stuff in the buggy, you know what I'm saying? You come up to the cash register, the cashier is right there, you know, and they're saying, "Oh, it's going to be $150." Okay, I don't have my wallet. Let me go home and get my wallet.
Hmm.
You shop and bought you got all this stuff ready. Got your realtor ready, you got the seller ready, you got all these people ready to do a transaction, but you don't even have your wallet or your method of payment. That's what it is to have your pre-approval. Okay. That's what it is to have your pre-approval ready to go. Gavin, I had this lady, right? And I'm not, guys, understand, I'm not talking bad about anybody. But
Right.
she was transparent with me.
Hmm.
She said she was looking at houses on the lake and everything or whatever. Beautiful down there, on the water. I said, "Oh man, that's amazing." She said, "Man, you know what they told me my house payment was?" I said, "What?" She said, $6,000. I said, "Oh my goodness, $6,000 a month for this
Mm.
property?" But she fell in love with a property without getting approved first.
All right.
Okay. She got all worked up about this property, but didn't know how much it really cost or whether it was affordable for her. That's why getting approved, fully approved, is important when it comes to buying your home.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Man, and then that kind of brings me into another point, where people who were able to buy
Right.
didn't understand their complete picture of their
Mm,
budget and
mm,
their true monthly payment. So yes, you get pre-approved, you go into contract, you buy that house. That's awesome.
right.
Understanding that what your monthly payment is and how that
Mm,
truly fits into your finances.
right.
You got people that have bought last year, and some just because you're pre-approved for 300, 400, $500,000 house, and you go out and buy it and max that pre-approval. That's
Mm,
us telling you based off what we look at from a lender from your finances that this is what you can afford, but
right.
we don't know your spending habits in terms of how you like
Right.
to shop, how you like to you know what school you gonna go put your daughter, your son, private school you gonna put him
Right.
into,
Right.
extracurricular. We can't take all that in consideration. Only you can. So you
Yeah.
got people out here that, man, as soon as that first monthly payment hit, it's like, oh, okay. Or,
Mm,
oh, I didn't think about now my utilities might be higher.
mm,
Or the HOA I gotta pay weekly,
mm,
I mean monthly or quarterly. Yeah, that
mm.
so that's some big mistakes that people don't necessarily take everything into consideration.
Right.
Um, when getting that home.
Mm,
So once they move in, that payment felt heavier
right.
than what was expected, before they bought that home. So yeah, man,
Absolutely.
that's just one. I know it's not as common because I mean some people take that into consideration, but a lot of people you'll be surprised that how heavier those payments feel once they get into that home.
Right. Right. So Gavin, let me say this one. One of the mistakes we've been talking about, approval, affordability, stuff like
Mhm.
that on the lending side. One of the things I notice as a realtor when I'm dealing with clients, or I've seen people that have not used a realtor, that's a whole nother mistake right there.
We gonna tell
Um,
you.
is skipping the inspections and red flags.
Ooh,
Okay. So let me tell you how important inspections are, guys. I mean, it's like you ever like seen something, man, it looked good on the outside. Oh man, got all the bells and whistles on the outside, right? But man, when that inspector goes in there and they look at that house from an internal standpoint, they go underneath the house, they go on the roof, they check all the electrical, they look at the plumbing and everything, and pretty much they come back and they say, "Oh man, this is a lemon,"
mm,
you know. Um, yeah, if you ever heard the term or the phrase putting paint on a pig, understand this. That is a thing in real estate. You got some guys out here that go out there, they paint the walls, that make stuff look pretty, but looking at the real core components that make a home solid,
all right, yeah.
your home inspector is going to be there to kind of save you, to make sure that house is solid, no structural issues, no electrical issues. Well, it might be some of those things, or plumbing issues, roofing issues. Guys, these are very, very big things that you want to make sure you get inspected and have a professional look at those things, so that you don't make an investment in a property where you're going to be dumping money into it all the time, like
Mm-hmm.
buying a house 60 years old and you don't know what comes with the house. I get on that one later, Gavin. You know where I'm going with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but that's funny though.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people take that information and they'll be like, man, my uncle work on homes or Joe Smo work on homes. We're not talking about somebody
Joe
who
Smo. Joe
you
Smo.
know we're not talking about somebody who just knows about homes. We're talking about a licensed contractor, someone who's
Yeah.
licensed, who is backed by insurance that says that,
Right.
hey, based upon my findings to the best of my ability, this is
Right.
what's going on.
Right.
These are my recommendations, and they're just.
Right.
So get those things. Make sure you're using a licensed contractor when you're doing them. Um,
Absolutely.
I,
Absolutely, man.
well, we still got we got about a minute left. This one I'm really gonna hit on, Wilmot.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey,
Go ahead.
man, a big mistake a lot of people made in 2025 was getting advice or taking advice from the wrong sources. From the wrong sources. What do I mean? Oh man, they went go talk to Joe Schmo under the oak tree,
You're gonna make me walk away.
or they got an experience, firsthand from auntie or their cousin that bought
That
a house in Colombia and they live
that
in
bought a
Charleston.
that bought a house 30 years ago.
Oh, 30 years ago, whatever it is,
Boy,
the,
you
the
know
wrong
houses
source.
ain't cost this much 30 years ago. You right. They didn't cost that much 30 years ago. You
Yeah,
absolutely right. They didn't cost that much 30 years ago. There's a lot of stuff that didn't cost that much 30 years ago.
right.
You know, but don't let me
So,
go there.
yeah. I mean, so a lot of people, not getting the information from the experts.
Right.
The buyers were getting advice from social media, friends, or some even, you know what? I can appreciate AI coming into the world and doing what it's supposed to do if you use it right. But
Right.
man,
Right.
AI is not going. AI is not going to give you in 5 minutes what someone has been trained or learned in the profession through experience
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
years. You're not
Mm-hmm.
going to get that from AI. I know you think you might. I
Right.
know you think you AI is going to teach you how
It's a
to
great it's a great tool now. Don't get me wrong.
it is. It
It's
is.
definitely a great tool. I think it's if you utilize it in certain ways, it is great. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I utilize AI a lot now, Gavin.
Yeah, I
But
do.
it's certain things that AI is not really accurate about 100% yet. Okay,
Correct. Yeah,
let's
this
just
is
be
correct.
real. And I'm not saying I'm 100% as a realtor, but there are certain things that that we really have to reconsider when we ask AI certain questions.
Mhm.
Um, that's dealing with real estate and mortgages. And you know, like I said, it's still a great tool. You know,
Yeah,
but
all I'm saying is just that don't rely on AI and the wrong sources
and Smo Joe,
for
Joe
yeah,
Smo.
it's Joe Schmo
I'm gonna
for
call AI Joe Smo, Smo
yeah.
Joe. Yeah,
Don't rely on it for to be the all with all.
right,
Um,
right.
Reach out to a professional in the industry. Your real estate agent Wilmot, your lender Gavin, LaShawn, guys, make sure you're getting the right information from the right sources. So yeah,
Hmm.
man, hey, we did it. We hit it. We over the time for today, honestly.
We got more guys, but we might have to do a part two. But
Yeah,
you know,
there's
if you
always
want
a part two. Always a part two.
right. If you need some more, just give us a call. We will be more than happy to talk to you about some of these other mistakes.
Yeah,
So,
man, we want to talk to you about the mistakes you don't need to make. So, hey,
right.
like you said, reach out to us, DM us. You should have our contact information by now. If not, man, shoot us a DM right after this, and we got you. So until next week, Teach Me Tuesday. We out.